Labour MP Kate Hoey refuses to rule out a defection to the Brexit Party as she voiced her frustration at fellow MPs attempting to stop Brexit. The Labour Party MP for Vauxhall announced earlier this year she is not planning to stand for the party at the next general election after 30 years serving her constituency. With the prospect of an election growing stronger, Kate Hoey however refused to rule out she could defect to the Brexit Party after the Labour leadership failed to take a strong stance on leaving the European Union. Asked whether she might join former Leave campaign partner Nigel Farage, Ms Hoey said, "Well, we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks or so. I'm very keen to get us out. I certainly made a commitment some time ago that I wouldn't stand again as a Labour MP and let's see what happens. You know, you can never say never, but at the same time I am getting on and I've had my 30 years in Parliament and maybe it's time for some new people," she continued. "It's just that sometimes you think, oh, my goodness, what is Parliament? The reputation we've got is so sad now because I genuinely feel people out there looking at us and you almost feel embarrassed to say you're an MP these days." Boris Johnson has been engaged in a battle of wills with Parliament as MPs have grown steadily opposed to his Brexit strategy over concerns the UK could end up leaving the EU without an agreement. After parliamentarians rejected his attempt to fast-track the withdrawal agreement bill with a 3-day debate timetable, Mr Johnson on Thursday reached out to MPs and offered extra time to discuss the bill in exchange for a general election. The Prime Minister attempted to trigger a vote twice in September but was refused both times as Jeremy Corbyn ordered his MPs to abstain from the vote. Under the Fixed-Term Parliament Act, the government requires a 2/3 majority to hold an election. Ms Hoey continued, "It's a zombie parliament. I do want to see changes to it. I made it quite clear. I actually abstained on the second reading of this because there are some bits on the part on Northern Ireland that absolutely need to be clarified. There are other things I don't particularly like, but what I will not stand are people who are just doing everything they can not to get a better deal because they really want to revoke Article 50, she added. "They really don't want us to leave and I just think we all now have to stand up to that and say enough's enough. Let's have a general election and let the public decide." While the EU27 signalled on Friday they are mostly agreed to give Britain a further extension to the withdrawal deadline, Brussels sources on Saturday claimed the bloc would wait until after the result of the general election motion Mr Johnson is expected to table on Monday. The Conservative Party appears increasingly split over whether to vote for an early election as many backbench MPs fear that the Prime Minister's roll of the dice could backfire. In particular, one Tory backbencher thinks that Labour Party may be able to portray the move as a political stunt. The MP told The Guardian, "I worry that the public will look at the government and say, why on earth are they farting about and trying to ruin my Christmas with an election when they have just won a vote on the Brexit bill? Where have they found these 6 weeks for an election when they don't have time to discuss Brexit legislation?" The miscalculation here is that the PM might be popular, but he is not trusted.